The chilling prospect of nuclear war has become a reality once again, reminding us of the fragile peace we live in. The consequences are catastrophic, threatening immediate destruction and long-term environmental and human impacts that could last for decades. The blinding flash, the deafening roar, and the ensuing firestorm are just a prelude to a world irrevocably changed, where life will never be the same. The initial blast will vaporize everything in its immediate vicinity, creating a crater of unimaginable size, leaving only emptiness and destruction. The shockwave will spread outwards, destroying buildings and infrastructure for miles around, leaving chaos and ruin in its wake. Radioactive particles, carried by the wind, will spread over vast distances, contaminating the air, water, and soil, making them unfit for life. This invisible killer will silently inflict its damage, causing radiation sickness, cancer, and genetic mutations that can be passed down through generations. Preparing for the possibility of nuclear war, however grim, is a necessary step to ensure survival in this new, dangerous world. Understanding the potential dangers, knowing where to seek shelter, and having the necessary supplies can increase the chances of surviving the initial stages and adapting to the new conditions. In the event of a nuclear explosion, the first few moments are crucial. The blinding flash of the explosion is the first alarming signal indicating the immediate need to take cover. If you are outside, drop to the ground and cover your head and neck to protect yourself from the shockwave and flying debris. If you are indoors, move away from windows and seek shelter in the most central part of the building, preferably in a basement or underground area. The next threat is radioactive fallout carried by the wind. Stay indoors and close all windows and doors to prevent contamination. Remain in shelter for as long as possible, preferably at least 48 hours, to allow initial radiation levels to decrease. If you must go outside, wear protective clothing, including a mask, gloves, and boots to minimize radiation exposure. Preparing for a nuclear event requires gathering essential supplies beforehand. This involves careful planning and organization to ensure you have everything needed for survival. Water is paramount. Plan for at least 1 gallon per person per day for 2 weeks. This amount will provide you with enough for drinking, cooking, and hygiene. Non-perishable food items, such as canned goods, dried fruits, and nuts, are also crucial. These will provide you with essential calories and nutrients when access to fresh food is limited. A first aid kit stocked with essential medical supplies, including bandages, antiseptic wipes, pain relievers, and any necessary prescription medications, is vital. Remember to include additional medical supplies like a thermometer and tweezers. A battery-powered or hand-crank radio will be essential for receiving emergency broadcasts. This will allow you to stay informed about the ongoing situation and receive important updates. Protective clothing, such as masks, gloves, and boots, should be sturdy and rubber-based to minimize radiation exposure. These items will help shield you from harmful particles and reduce the risk of contamination. Duct tape and plastic sheeting can be used to seal windows and doors, creating a barrier against radioactive fallout. This will help prevent radioactive particles from entering your shelter. Regularly check and replenish your supplies to ensure they remain usable. This includes checking expiration dates and replacing outdated items with fresh ones. It's also important to have a plan for where you will seek shelter and how you will communicate with family members in case of separation. Discuss this plan with loved ones and ensure everyone knows what to do in an emergency. Identifying a suitable shelter is crucial for survival in the event of a nuclear blast. It could save your life. The ideal shelter is an underground space, such as a basement or root cellar, providing maximum protection from the blast and radiation. These locations can significantly reduce radiation exposure. If an underground shelter is unavailable, the innermost part of a building, away from windows and exterior walls, can offer some level of protection. It's important to avoid windows and outside walls. Reinforcing your chosen shelter can further enhance its effectiveness. This includes using various materials to seal it up. Seal any gaps or cracks in the walls and doors with duct tape and plastic sheeting to create a tighter seal against radioactive fallout. This will help prevent radiation from getting in. If you are caught outside during a nuclear blast, immediately take cover in any available ditch or trench. This can protect you from the immediate effects. Once the initial blast and heat have subsided, move to a more secure shelter as quickly as possible. This is critical for your safety. The thicker and denser the materials between you and the radioactive fallout, the greater the protection. Use any available materials to reinforce your shelter. Radiation is an invisible and insidious killer. Minimizing exposure is paramount for survival after a nuclear event. Protective clothing, including masks, gloves, and boots, can help reduce contact with radioactive particles. Decontamination procedures are necessary after exposure. Remove contaminated clothing and seal it in plastic bags. Wash exposed skin thoroughly with soap and water. Avoid consuming contaminated food and water. The aftermath of nuclear war will result in a dramatically altered landscape. Familiar landmarks may be gone, replaced by ruins and destruction. Establishing contact with surviving family members and community will be a priority. Securing a safe and stable water supply will be essential. Untreated water sources may be contaminated with radiation or other hazardous substances. Purification methods, such as boiling or using water purification tablets, will be necessary. Learning basic foraging and hunting skills may prove vital. Water is the most essential resource for survival. Dehydration can quickly lead to debilitating illness and death. Securing a safe and reliable water source is paramount after a nuclear event. Rainwater can be collected and stored, but it must be purified before drinking. Boiling is a simple and effective way to kill harmful bacteria and viruses. Water purification tablets can also be used, following the manufacturer's instructions carefully. Protecting water sources from further contamination is crucial. After a nuclear event, food supplies will quickly dwindle. Learning to forage for edible plants and hunt small game can greatly increase your chances of survival. Identifying edible plants requires careful study and knowledge. Trapping small animals can provide a source of protein. Properly handling and cooking any game you catch is essential to prevent illness. Preserving any food you have is crucial to extend its shelf life. Drying, canning, and smoking are effective preservation methods. In the face of widespread devastation, community becomes paramount. Working together with others increases the chances of survival. Pooling resources, sharing skills, and supporting each other can create a stronger and more resilient group. Establishing clear lines of communication and leadership within the community is essential. Sharing knowledge and skills can benefit the entire community. Those with medical knowledge can provide much-needed medical care. Creating a sense of community and belonging can provide comfort and hope in the face of adversity. As the saying goes, there's no I in team. The psychological impact of a nuclear event will be profound. Maintaining mental fortitude is essential for survival. Developing coping mechanisms for stress and anxiety is crucial. Practicing mindfulness, meditation, or other relaxation techniques can help manage emotional stress. Seeking support from others is essential. Talking with trusted friends, family members, or community members can provide emotional comfort and relief. Maintaining hope is vital. Remember the classic saying, "Hope dies last." Long-term survival in a post-nuclear world will require rebuilding and adapting to a new reality. Reclaiming land for agriculture and establishing sustainable food production systems will be essential. Developing new technologies and adapting existing ones to address the challenges of the changed environment will be crucial. Restoring communication networks and infrastructure will be key to uniting scattered communities and fostering cooperation. Sharing knowledge and resources will be essential for rebuilding society. Maintaining hope and a positive attitude is crucial for long-term survival. The human spirit is remarkably resilient. As the Russian proverb says, patience and work will overcome everything. Or as we say in English, persistence pays off.